It has been over a full month since I have put this hair system on my head. Hey guys, what's going on? This is Jake Ken, and today I'm going to be doing a 1 month synopsis of this fully custom hair system from LaVivid that they had the courtesy of sending me. This video is sponsored by LaVivid Hair. Make sure you check out my code down below if you do want to grab something from them. But I want to be completely honest and completely transparent about this hair system and the experience that I've had with it. I'm going to tell you everything that I've experienced and why I think some of those things have happened. So to sum up this hair system, because I never went through what it actually is in the initial video, this is a fully customized hair system from LaVivid. Now, when I approached them, I told them I wanted a couple key things. First, I wanted this hair system to look very, very believable. I wanted it to be 0.02, 0.03 millimeter poly thin skin all around. Next up for me was really making sure that we got the density right. For me, it seems like 90 to 95% is the go-to for my density, my age, and the look that I'm going for. I've worn lighter and I've definitely worn heavier. This seems to be the ideal mixture for my natural density and for my age. Next up was color. As you guys may or may not know, hair systems do tend to bleach out and turn to a lighter color as they age with exposure to the sun, use, exposure to shampoos, things like this. So I wanted to try changing it up, and I wanted to give it some highlights to the hair system to create a little bit more of a differentiation in between the colors. That way it looks like my hair has some natural high and low lights, like I see sometimes in individuals that have blonde hair. I thought that this would maybe give me a little bit more imperceptibility with the blend between my natural hair and the hair systems. Next up, I decided I wanted a little bit curlier hair system than what I had gotten custom from them before. So instead of something like their stock rod, I decided to make it a little bit tighter and go in the low 20s. So what that ultimately does is, if you think about hair from a scale of completely straight to very, very curly or even more afro textured, this can be dictated by the rod size around which the hair is wrapped and essentially kind of like chemically permed. So with that being said, let's talk about it. You guys have been very vocal about this, and I feel it as well. And this is perhaps the best hair system, the best haircut, and the best hair that I've ever had the pleasure of wearing. I've had very, very comparable systems that are close, but all of the factors that we've added in together in this particular hair system has potentially made it one of the best for me. 0.02, 0.03 millimeter poly thin skin is hard to beat when it comes to realism. Some people say that superfine Swiss lace is better. In my opinion, I really enjoy the ease of use and the believability of having a super thin skin poly unit. I don't think it gets much better than that when it comes to realism for your front hairline. One of the biggest differences with this hair system though is actually the fact that we added in some highlights to give some color differentiation throughout the unit. We can see right here that we have some highlights. There's some over in here, there's some up in here. Now this really adds a layer of dimension to the hair, and what I have noticed is that as I continue to wear it and there's a slight shift in the color, that these highlights tend to mask and really make it look a little bit more real, almost looking like those differentiations in color are intentional as opposed to unintentional, as opposed to why is the top of this person's head just a different color. When you have these highlights, things can be interpreted as high and low lights, and it creates a little bit more of an illusion, I personally find. Now, my girlfriend herself has said that this is the best hair system that I've ever worn. This is the best style I've ever worn. She says that she often forgets that I'm wearing a hair system. She just can't believe it. And you know, she's known me for the past many years before I was wearing hair systems and after, and she's seen this whole journey, how it's looked, how it's felt. So when she says this is the best it's ever looked, and she says that completely unprovoked, you know, I believe her. What I will add on top of this is that the haircut that I got with this was probably the best that I've ever received from an individual. Their ability to manage the hair system, to cut it in, but also provide an extremely good fade. And it really changed my mind about what's possible with a hair system. I've been going conservative with my haircuts, meaning that I have not been going for as fashionable, as tight of a fade, because I didn't think that it was gonna be possible to mask the hair system and blend that line in between, but I've been proven otherwise. I think it looks fantastic. Now, I wanna talk about the quality of the hair and how it's holding up over the past month. So over the past 2-ish years, I've worn every single hair system from 2 to 3.5 to 4 months. And over that period of time, most often what happens is that the hair goes from being extremely soft and having a lot of bounce, maybe too much bounce, to being kind of brittle, very dry feeling, and also being lifeless, not having any bounce, just kind of feeling like straw, if you will. Now, a month in, what I'm starting to notice about this hair is that it's holding up so good. Now, part of that is the hair that LaVivid is using, I believe, but part of it is what I've been doing to make my hair systems last longer. I've been experimenting over the past year with different treatments, different mixes of processes, if you will, and even adding in some products that are traditionally not used for hair to see if it can make it last longer. And I think I've kind of hit the gold mine as far as what that process is and what those products are. And the most secret one of all is kind of unbelievable. It's kind of one of those things that you'd be like, wow, that's really strange. It's kind of awkward and I never would have thought that. But the weird thing is it works. And I'd be happy to share that with you guys and maybe even build a product out of it in the future, because it's something that it's actually changed the game for me and my hair systems. But this hair is feeling great. Now, one of the big things I've been doing is conditioning it pretty much every other day. I'll jump in the shower and I'll condition it. I'll let it sit there for about 5 minutes, and I am no longer using a hair blower. I've just stopped doing that. What I've noticed is that this is leaving my hair with a much more natural bounce and look as far as the volume than using a hair dryer. So overall, I feel like I'm really locking in how to take care of hair systems, how to manage them, how to use them, make them last longer, and how to style them. And it's taken years to do this. So, you know, the message here is, if you're just getting started, if you're a little bit frustrated, you know, keep on going. It's something that you can learn. If you look at my earliest styles, and then you look when I started doing it myself, you'll see that there was a dramatic break in the quality. And also what I had available for hair systems, only higher density hair systems that weren't right for me. And I didn't know how to manage them. I didn't know how to maintain them. And now I'm getting to a point where it's becoming incredibly easy, and I'm very effective at managing them. Still learning every single day, and I'm by no means an absolute expert here, but I'm sharing the journey with you guys. So thank you to LaVivid for this hair system. Thank you to LaVivid for sponsoring this video, and I'll catch you guys soon.